Next please. Okay. First of all, I explained the whole picture of big data is the moving part. Here we will talk about the technologies, storage, fast data, big analytics techniques, deep insights, and what are the business objectives you can achieve from the data. Next please. So, when we talk about the big data, what does mean by big data? Big data is actually the 3 V's, but now we introduce the 5 V's. What are 3 V's? Volume, velocity, variety. Okay. So the next 2 V's are value and veracity. These are the, what is the volume? We will talk about when data will move. If you can see, you generate the huge data from the social media apps, from the market stores, medical history, we generate the huge data, and how can we process this data? We need techniques, and we will talk about the techniques today in this session. Okay, so data start with the megabit, bytes, gigabytes, terabytes, and petabytes. We will store, we need the storage, and the concept is we use the Google Drive, Dropbox, and many storage platforms where we can store the data. Okay, next please. Okay. When we talk about the data volume, is 45 times increase from 2009 to 2020, from 0.8 zettabytes to 35 zettabytes. Data volume is increased exponentially. And when we talk about the digital universe, we generate the data from the social media. I already explained that from where we can generate the data. This is the exponentially increase the data, and here you can see the data is increased very fastly. Next please. These are the platforms where we generate the data. We generate data from the Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, and all social media apps is generate the data. Is like 12 plus terabytes of free data every day. And the same is 25 plus terabytes of long data every day, log data every day. And here, in 2005, 1.3 billion RFID tags were made by different companies. And now is 30 billion tags. What are the tags? Is RFID tags we can use in our card, used for different access control systems. We can, for identity, we use the tags. And the 4.6 billion camera phones worldwide. Different companies made these phones, 4.6 billion. And the same is 100 of million of GPS-enabled devices. Different companies developed these devices. 76 million smart meters in 2009 and 200 million by 2014 is the digital meters which we use for electricity and different utility bills we can calculate from these millions. So 2 plus billion people on the web by end of 2011, and now is increased on almost 200 millions on the web. We use the web. This is the volume of data we generated from different sources. Next please. So next is a variety, complexity. So we get the data from the relational databases like CRM, customer relationship management, ERPs, different ERPs, payroll, employees, management system. We generated a lot of data from the ERP system, different, and that's the relational database. And then we talk about the text data is a web data. We generated a lot of web pages every day. Different organizations made their web pages to promote their business. And then we talk about the semi-structured data. XML is a new standard for the data, for exchange of data. Graph data, social networks, semantic webs, these are the graph data we generated from different sources. And streaming data, which we use is from the TikTok, is the most generated the streaming data. And we can process that data as well. A single application can be collecting huge amount of data from many type of data. Big public data, online, weather, finance, generated, all these are the variety of the data. And when we talk about the variety, big data, then variety is one very important element for analytics. Next please. Single view of customer. I will quote the one example. If you are going to get the visa from any embassy, no, they don't need any identity from your side. They will work on social media apps. They have a totally access to analyze either you are able to get the visa or not. They don't need anything else. So one customer generates a huge data from different social media apps, from gaming apps. For entertainment, every business have a card, and you can go to the KFC, McDonald's, you can get the discount if you have a card. Purchases, Amazon online purchases, you will create your account, and after that you will make a purchase. So you gave your data to purchasing department. Own history from your mobile devices. Mobile devices always tracking you. अक्सर टाइम मैं स्टूडेंट्स को कहता हूँ कि ये दुनिया का मालनामा है, ये दुनिया में आपका मालनामा है। ठीक, इतना आप खुद को नहीं जानते जितना ये आपको जानते हैं। ऐसा है कि नहीं? It will tell where are you, और कहाँ पे आपने क्या कुछ किया है, ये आपको बताएगा। Okay, so that's the systems, computers, technologies, which generate a huge data and monitor every time. जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे बैठे रिश्ते लिखते हैं, ऐसे ये लिखा है. So banking finance, your financial information. If you want to know about one customer, you need different variety of data. Then you can say something about him or her. You have seen lot of applications in the social media that gave some predictions to you. You can see in the different, and behind that application, that techniques, they use your activities, your post, your different way of talking. Next, velocity is speed of data. Data is being generated fast and need to be processed fastly. If you not process fastly, then you will lose your late decision, missing opportunities. Late decision. What does it mean by late decisions? Like I want to give some promotions on the market superstore. Like I want to give some discounts, some promotions. So I should know the customer what he picked from which wall or place. Either he take a bread, egg. Many applications we use these techniques to give some promotion to particular customers. Online data analytics is Twitter. If we want to give some graph, who is a popular politician in the Pakistan, and we need to process that data. Who is the popular? Is a trend. They generate trends and presented that the most trend is the which party is more important, which university is very good, and we need these medias. So e-promotions based on your current location, your purchasing history, what you like, send promotion right now, far store next to you. And the healthcare monitoring. Healthcare monitoring means when patient is in ICU, we need the automatic monitoring system. We don't put the, we already given some solution to Wazirabad Cardiology, Institute of Cardiology. We don't need a nurses and anything else. We just have a well-defined decision-making system, which will directly, if the patient is going in abnormal behavior, then it's directly message to the doctor. And doctor will move to the patient location. And meanwhile, he can see the medical history on his mobile. So we remove all the delays by first call to the nurse and nurse call to the doctor. Next, please. Real-time fast data, when we talk about the real-time fast data, scientific instruments collecting all sorts of data. We collect the weather condition all the time. And different mobile devices tracking all objects at all the time. Social media networks, all of us are generating data. Sensor technology and network making all kind of data. The ability to collect data, this is one concept, is outdated. The ability to process data, that's the challenge. How can we process data? Can we process data on our laptops, on our computers? Is it possible? Yes. Can we process the data on our laptops?
Yes.
Okay, just tell me, when Intel introduced Core i7, don't know. Either they introduced Core i9. Anybody have Core i9 system? But not available in local markets. Someone specially purchased that because we have changed the trends. We are moving from single computer to distributed computer. Okay. So we need to process the data, we need computation systems which can be compute the data every time, real-time data processing, analytics, perform and generate the information. Next please. Real-time analytics decision requirements. For one customer, product recommendation data relevant and compelling, improving the market effectiveness of the promotion while it is still in play, preventing fraud ad is out occurring and preventing more productivity. Means when we go to the bank for the loan, and the bank will make decision on your transactions, account transactions, and the way of processing transactions and generating transactions, someone putting the money in the bank and take the money from the bank again, and it's generate the history, and then bank think, yes, he's our value customer, so we can give him the loan, and that's the objective of that person. So how can we prevent the fraud before occurring? So we will give the loan or not, that makes the decision. Learning while customers switch to competitors and their offers in time to counter means one person will switch your number from Jufone to Jazz, or either from Jazz to Zong. So companies knows that our customer is moving to another network. That's actually the real-time analytics. Friends' invitation to join a game or activity that expand businesses. Most of the games are only developed to make for some predictions, some analysis. They develop that game for that particular purpose. Harnessing big data, online transaction processing, online analytical processing, and real-time analytical processing. That's actually goal which we want to achieve. And you can see in 1968 OLTP was introduced, and OLP in 1983 where we operational databases then move in the data warehousing, and now we are streaming computing. What does it mean by streaming computing? We generating the data and the same time process the data and generate information and store that information for further use, for further processing. Next please. Okay, the model has changed. What does it mean by model has changed? The one old model, few companies are generating data and other are consuming data. Like newspapers, they generate the data. And all of us just consume that data, we just read the news. Now, all of us are generating data and all of us are consuming data. Everybody can put the post. That's a basically big example of big data. Everybody generates the data. Everybody put their videos, audios, text on the social media apps, and a lot of social media apps exist in the market. Next please. We need cloud computing. We need, actually I firstly talk about we need computations, high computation computers. And the cloud computing gives you the high computation computers. The next please. So cloud computing, IT resources provided as a service. The other thing is software development method has been changed. What does it mean by software development method has been changed? Now we can develop the small part of service and put on the internet and we can sell. We don't need to develop the whole software. Like I developed the simple service which can predict or say medical decision or just read the x-ray and give that is a tumor or not. Either we develop that service, put in the internet, and a lot of medical applications can get the output from the service. So IT resources provided as a service. IT resources, hardware and software. These are two IT resources mainly. But we can move further. I will explain you in the next slide. Cloud computing, storage, databases, queues, cloud leverage economies of scale of commodity hardware means if you want a Core i9 computer, then you can purchase from the cloud. You don't need to put your money. Either you need for the time period for the 1 month, 2 months, you will only pay for the 1 month or 2 months. You don't need to purchase a QoS system for small tasks. So, cheap storage, high bandwidth network and multi-core processors, geographically distributed data centers, and offering from Microsoft, Amazon, Google. These are the three main companies which offering cloud resources, IT resources as a service. You can purchase the services from here and use them and again destroy the system. Next please. So these are the application areas, laptop, servers, desktop, tablets, phone, these are the devices. And the main applications are put on the cloud. Applications, platforms and infrastructures. How many users are used the Google Drive? Okay. Do you have a lecture of your any subject on the Google Drive? What are you using? You use your photos on the Google Drive. That's it. Actually, you put your all lectures, all things on the Google Drive and you can share with anyone on one click. That's the actually storage. Storage as a service. We'll put our file on the cloud storage and share with anyone. Computing. We can take a computer core i9 like 96 cores computer from the Amazon or Microsoft or Google and run my experiments, and after that download the result and remove the machine. That's the computing. And network can also be as a service. Object density, runtime queues, database, that's basically give you the cloud-based software. That's new method to develop the software. We should develop software which can be run over the internet. That's the cloud-based software. So application monitoring, contents, collaborations, communication, finance application, everyone, campus management system on the cloud. You can develop our campus management system over the cloud. If any college wants campus management system, you can give them on one click and they will use your software. That's actually the concept. If you develop desktop application, then you need to install the system on their places. But in case of cloud softwares, you can just give them in one click. Next. Benefits. Cost and management. You don't need to develop the data center in your campus. Networking, all these devices we don't need if we get the resources over the internet. So economies of scale, outsourcing resource management, reduce time to deployment. Case of assembly, work out to the box, scaling, on-demand provisioning. On-demand provisioning means whenever you need any machine, what you can get on one click. Co-locate data and compute, reliability, massive, redundant, sharing resources, sustainability are not owned. So these are the type of clouds. Amazon, Google, Microsoft provides the public cloud. Computing infrastructure is hosted on the vendor's premises. Vendors means Amazon developed their cloud for the public. And the private cloud means University of Gujarat is one of the examples. We developed the private cloud and they put all their services in that hardware, and students and teachers and administration can get that resources for their using. Hybrid cloud means organization hosts some critical secure application in private clouds. The not so critical applications are hosted in the public cloud. So three type of cloud deployments, cloud types. The one is public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. The other last one is a community cloud shared by several organizations. Like Mandi, Bahauddin created one cloud setup, and all the organizations, health department, education department, district administration can use that resources. They are the community clouds. Yeah. But it's also a hybrid cloud. We can say that's a hybrid cloud. Classification of cloud computing based on service provided. That's the deployment. How can we deploy the cloud? And that's the services based. Is infrastructure as a service, offering hardware related services using principles of cloud computing, like Amazon. Google Drive is one of the examples. Is storage device which provide the services to store the file. Platform as a service, offering development platform to the cloud, Google application, India, Microsoft Azure. These are the platforms. Like we need SQL Server. What we do when we start the course database system, we need SQL Server, or either we need MySQL. And the one of the example, who is doing the mobile application development? Anyone? Mobile application development. Okay, we use the Firebase. What is Firebase? It's a database online database. We can access that database. We can create our database online, and we can access that data from anywhere. So one of the example is ready-made platform. We don't need anything to install on our computers. We can access database management system over the cloud. So software as a service, including a complete software offering on the cloud, user can access the software application hosted by the cloud vendor on pay-as-you-go. What does mean a pay-as-you-go? If you go to, if you talk about with any client that we can develop software for you, and you paid like 1 million, he said no, I don't know. Why? If you say this is the your required software, and you can give me 100 rupees or 1000 rupees per month for this use. He will be happy. So that's actually the concept. Develop the software for the general, for some business specific area, like health department, for education department, someone, and give them on monthly basis, subscription basis. So, and it will give by the cloud computing, software as a service. Next please. Infrastructure as a service, here the software owner. And software owner prepare the virtual machine, and virtual machine is the configurable machine which already configured your software in running position. And it put on the some infrastructure as a service vendors. And then whenever end user wants, any software is generate the virtual machine from the given images. So what is this? Software is already prepared and managed in the virtual machine, and the virtual machine will make an image. If any end user wants your software, is generate the virtual machine and give the services to them. Next please. More refined categorization. Now we can say everything as a service. Everything as a service means storage as a service, database as a service, information as a service, process as a service, application as a service, platform as a service, integration as a service, security as a service. No, we can say that because in 10 years we proved that anything as a service is possible. Okay, like I have a data for 1 million users, phone numbers or WhatsApp number of 1 million. So I can give the services to any company. We can promote your business on 1 million users. We can send your promotion to 1 million users because we have a data. So data as a service, we can say. So governance as a service, testing as a service, infrastructure as a service. And we say that anything, if we are going to conduct some research in cloud resources, cloud computing, then you can say that medical services, medical prescription as a service, or course content as a service, course material as a service, test as a service. These, and it is possible using the cloud computing. Next please. Key ingredients in cloud computing. Actually, how we can say the cloud computing is the mixture of these technologies. Service-oriented architecture. If you are going to develop the software, then you should need to how we can develop the microservices. Service-oriented architecture. It will give you the complete picture how can we develop. Utility computing, on demand. What does it mean by utility computing? If this college needs computers for computer lab, college can go to the market and can get the computers as a on rent basis. On rent basis, that means the utility computing. You use the resources, pay as you go basis. So virtualization, virtual machines. This is another concept we use in cloud computing. Software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. These three services were included in the cloud computing basic definition. Next please. Utility computing. What computing resources are as a metered service, pay as you go, ability to dynamically provisioning virtual machines. Why? Cost capital versus operating cost. Cost capital means I need 1 million to purchase the computer. So on my start of business, need 1 million to build the lab. The other option is I will talk with some vendors They put the hardware in my premises and I will pay them pay as you go. Monthly basis, I will pay the rent. That's a better solution. Scalability. Electricity, scale up and down, demand. Does it make sense? Benefits of cloud is a business case for cloud providers. Next, please. Virtual machines. That's the virtual machines concept. That's the actually your hardware. And here you can put the hypervisor. Is actually the standard of virtualization. And you can install on operating system. Have you used virtual machine on your computers?
Yes, sir.
If you have a Windows operating system,